sparkling siding. You see? I think it's too far away. Anyway, it's a tiny guy. I'm gonna edit that out. You don't need to know that. Okay. Hi, hey, ho. Today's thoughts are about delivering wants and needs in a non-abrasive way, trying to find a way to like mask it as, oh, you know, you have this flaw and you should change it because it's really bad for you, as opposed to like, hey, I have a need and I want you to meet it because you matter to me. There's a difference. Like the end result, the actual action is the same, but how you deliver it and how you're packaging it super matters. You know? Yay to embracing this way of life where not being abrasive, not being, you know, the strict, like pointing the finger, like how dare you not, how dare you don't, how dare you can't, but like, hey, hey, it's really important to me to have you by my side. It feels good to be that way, to actually embody a more relaxed, a more peaceful way of expressing my wants and needs and communicating from a place of love, not from a place of judgment and resentment. And I had to give myself time to respond and not react. Like I took time to respond to this person that super matters to me. Okay, it's my partner. Because I'm still here in this small beach town and I don't have a lot of close friends. And now that I am getting involved in the community, when I go to an event, when I'm part of something, I want him to be there with me, next to me. I want to be a unit with him. I show up for his stuff. I'm next to him at his things. So it's only natural that I would want the same. Ow. Walking on the beach is fantastic, but broken shells, woo. So anyways, like I was saying, I caught myself today taking time to respond, and it felt really great to be that person. And the way it was received was really nice. Like it wasn't received as an attack and it wasn't received as a reprimand. Or maybe it was, but at least in like a loving way. Excuse me, honey. At least in like a kind and loving way, not a like, brah! Birth order really does have something to do with the way I used to be. Because I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of my siblings and I'm the oldest of my cousins. So I always felt like I'm the oldest. I know what's best. I'm gonna tell everybody what to do and organize this whole shebang. And my partner is the youngest of his siblings. So he obviously got away with murder and was probably told what to do a gajillion times before he did it. And we normalize these roles. I mean, it becomes all that we know. And so, I don't know, I'm pointing that out just so I myself am cognizant of that, to give both myself and him grace as we become a unit and evolve as individuals, despite of our birth order and past experiences and past behaviors. I think it's hella important to not let wants and needs go by unspoken. Now I'm seeing the beauty of like, it's okay to talk about it. Find a way to talk about it from a place of peace and love speak truth in love, as the word says, and be honest, you know? Be vulnerable. I just got that download that my fear is the vulnerability. Is being like, I wanted you there. I care to have you by my side, and to not, it hurts my heart. And I think that the admission of that makes me feel vulnerable, and having to ask of someone to do something that I can't control, which is like, show up and show up on time, if not early. Man, relationships really put a mirror in front of our faces in the best way possible, that like shows the areas that I want to be seen and loved in, and the areas that need to die altogether. Or the areas that need to be matured. And I think it's really important to forget that it's not just our partner that has those areas, that I have those areas too. It goes both ways. And in that, you know, iron sharpens iron. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, when you have a great vision of what the future can be, and like it's not even based on potential, it's like based on reality. Potential is an alternative reality, right? It's like in quantum physics, there are a gajillion versions of myself, a gajillion versions of yourself that exists right now, parallel to the reality you are experiencing right now, and parallel to who I am being right now. Cool. So potential is not delusion, but a lot of times, well, I think all of the times, potential hangs on the power that we have in the ability of choosing. And I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, I'm trying to persuade my partner to choose a certain way that benefits me, but that I also think will strengthen us as a couple, as a unit, and benefit him as an individual. And that's what I want. I know I'm being super hodgepodge. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I don't know if anybody is watching this, but I'm gonna keep doing this. Another way that, within the same vein of expressing my wants and needs, and I wonder who can relate to that, is like, now I'm finally coming to a place, and it feels really nice to come to God and tell him what it is you need, the outcome that you want, which at the end of the day, you want resolution, you want peace. I am in charge of various things in my life. I own a business, I own a place, and I'm extremely grateful for it. It comes with responsibilities, and a lot of times I have to make myself available in person and orchestrate solutions and, you know, orchestrate provisions for what I'm responsible for. So, came to God in prayer this week and was on the verge of getting in like a anxious train of thought of where like you're going through the deck of cards of solutions of problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution, problem. And I said, you know, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm maturing and I'm entering my slow life era. So this is how I'm gonna respond differently. I'm gonna tell God exactly what it is that the problem is, though he already knows, but let me tell you, venting to God is the best thing because it never overwhelms him. It's never a burden for him to listen to you go on and on and on and just blab about your problems. So I went to God and I told him all about it, though he already knew. And I said, God, you know the two ways that this situation can be solved. Either either A or B. But then, like, from a real, honest, and genuine place, out of knowing that he knows the situation, he sees what I'm in charge of, and he knows what's best for me, and he loves me, I said from that place, okay, God, not my will of how this situation should be solved, but I pray that your will be done, because I know that you care, that you know me, that you see, and that you know what will benefit me the most and what is the right way for this situation to be solved in the scope of everything, because I only have the sight and the knowledge of what's happening right now, but God sees everything, and he knows how it will affect everybody involved. And he's love. The very energy, the very essence, the very nucleus of God is love. Mine a lot of times is love too, and then in others is fear, is control, is anxiety, is a sense of urgency and lack and worry. He doesn't have any of that. He's just love, and he's just pure, and he's just whole and holy and wholesome. And he gives us free will, and so to use that free will to come to him and say, okay, God, I pray that the outcome that you want would happen, because I know that you care about me and you love me, and everybody involved in this situation you also love. And then an outcome came, and I felt so much peace because I trusted and believed that it is what God wanted it to happen and how he wanted the situation to be solved. And that feels really nice. Like, I can plan the crap out of a problem-solving plan, and when it works in the way I was planning to, I feel very accomplished. I feel proud of myself, and tired and worn out. And a lot of times that's okay, and there's a place for that. But there is a much better way and a much nicer experience that I was able to have this week of like relinquishing, of like surrendering the sense of control and urgency and anxiety and worry, and going, okay, God, you know the situation, you know me, you know everyone else who is involved. I trust that the outcome that happens and when it happens and how it happens will be what you want, because I can trust you care, and your will is better and your ways are better. And I was flushed with such calm and peace once things unfolded the way that they did, because I could trust it was what God wanted. So that has also been something that this week really gifted my heart with this sense of I can rest more when trying to figure out a resolution, a solution to a problem, to a situation. At times not even a problem, it's just a situation I need a solution for, as opposed to carrying the weight of that decision-making process all on me. And God has such a beautiful way to make sense of it all to where it blesses everyone. But we have to give even that to him, because free will is our greatest power, right? Because he is love, he doesn't force us, he doesn't strong arm us to trust him and to relinquish our power to choose to him. We have to willingly give that to him. And I see that in my personal relationship with my partner, you know. I can't strong arm him to choose to do what I want him to do. But I can convey my want and need to him and trust that he loves me, and that once he knows what it is I want for him and expect from him, that he will choose accordingly to show me through his actions that he loves me. Just some thoughts. Hope it reverberates in your ears, down to your heart, around your spirit and aura, and it makes sense to you. I'm just trying to get better at expressing my feelings and storytelling. Still sucking at it most of the time, but you know, practice makes better, so here I am. Have a great day.